covered unconscious incompetence. That means you don't know, and you don't know that you don't know. But so what we did last week is to say the solution to unconscious incompetence is to acknowledge that I don't know. And then the reason why you need to acknowledge that is because God has prepared an inheritance for his children. There are things that are stored up for you. And when you know that coming into the kingdom deliver you from the kingdom of darkness into his marvelous light, Christianity become livable and enjoyable. My daughter here gave me a compliment on Sunday night. He said, I made Christianity to be fun. And I love that. Because that is what Christ come to give us. Liberty. He said, in the presence of God, there is the fullness of joy. We are supposed to come to God all tied up. Just like when they threw those 3 Hebrew boys into the fire. The fire killed those who threw them in. But when they got into the fire, God did not stand from afar off and ask, how hot is the flame? God got involved in their problem and loosened their hand, and they walk around in what killed others. That is what Christianity is all about. We are supposed to make Christianity so attractive that people will be asking us, what is the source of your strength? But what we see is when we come into the Christian fold, they are adding rules upon rules upon rules upon rules. And our life is just tolerated instead of being celebrated. We are supposed to be the happiest people. Why? We have God on our side. Amen. We know that no matter how bad it looks, all I need to hear is a word from God. When I hear a word from God, I know it's going to be all right. I remember I was in Sister Anita's house. My wife called me. That was January 2008, maybe on the 17th. Normally I stayed home every day on Sunday to watch the playoff game because it was the playoff season, NFL. But something pushed me out of the house that day. I couldn't wake up early in the morning to go and clean. So I said I would do it after service. Normally it's just a small office, I can knock it off within a few minutes. But somehow, as I got there, somebody called me on the phone. I took the phone inside the office, talked to them, it took 20 minutes. As soon as I got off the phone, another person called. I ended up getting delayed, and I was getting mad at why is all this call coming in? After I finished talking to the last guy, I just turned off my phone because I've already wasted 15 minutes. By the time I finished the phone call, I was there very late. I just decided, you know what, instead of going back home, let me go over to Mr. Adekunle's house. I went over to Mr. Adekunle's house, we were watching football, and my wife called me. And he said, your worst nightmare has happened. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, immigration, it's about 50 immigration officers has just come into the house looking for you. I'm like, what? It's on Sunday. What does that mean? He said, if you see outside, you would think they were looking for Osama bin Laden. He said the whole area was surrounded. They were looking. And I told him, you're not here, and you are gone, and they left. And afterward, I said, wow. I was on so my sister was in the grocery store. I told her she would meet me there because I'm watching football. But after my wife told me, I said, okay, I'll be home. He said, what? I said, yeah, I'm coming home. If God can't watch me, there's no, I mean, what am I? He told me not to worry, so I'm not going to worry. She said, you're coming back home? I said, yes, I'm coming back home. And I would normally have been home, but he pushed me out so that I would not be there when they come. So I was on my way home when my sister called me. You will see what I'm trying to get at. When she called me, she said, Godfather, you've left? I said, yeah. I said, I've left. I need to go home. Then I told her because she was in the store looking for a hen. She wanted a hen instead of a chicken. And I told her there are places where I normally buy a hen. So I was reminding her, don't worry, tomorrow I will get a hen for you. So when she got home, and her husband told her what happened, one of the things that, and this man, this thing happens to him and he was still talking about hen. The reason why I was not distressed is because my life is not my home. God made me a promise. God knows that my situation can be manipulated by the enemy. But as long as I do not allow the distressing situation to get into my spirit, I will be okay. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Yes. That it doesn't matter what you are going through. And a boat can go through a storm. As long as that water that is floating on does not get into the